Hi there, my name is Sam, and I am an equipment purchasing manager for an importer company. In our company, we use Annata Dynamics IDMS, a powerful management solution which is built as an add-on to Microsoft Dynamics AX and is specifically designed to support the automotive, equipment, rental, and fleet industries. Annata Dynamics IDMS is used to cover industry-specific needs throughout the entire lifecycle of a product, all within one solution. Before we look at the functionality of Annata Dynamics IDMS, I want to show you my role center. I use the role center as my dashboard, as this gives me access to the parts of the system that I need to as part of my day-to-day work. The cues at the top of the role center give me direct access to the forms that show me what is happening in my part of the business. As an example, I can see the status of the purchase orders and the number of devices as well. The reports also help me to track what's happening in my business. Right at the bottom of the role center, the alerts section highlights the most urgent tasks that I need to act on immediately. To create a new purchase order, while at the same time creating one or more vehicles or equipment involves me using much of the standard purchase order functionality from Dynamics AX 2012. The benefits of using the standard purchase order functionality includes the fact that the information relating to the purchase is updated in real time against the vendor, as well as the relevant records within the general ledger. I start the process by creating a new purchase order. I then select the vendor and the delivery address. The receiving warehouse location is chosen, as well as the date that the delivery of the equipment is expected. I complete the creation of the purchase order header by clicking on OK. From the open purchase order, the next step in the procedure is to identify the pieces of equipment that need to be created or ordered. I click on the Create Device Purchase icon on the IDMS tab. From here, it is possible to create a new record and select the item that one or more pieces of equipment are going to be based upon. You'll remember from our device configuration video that the device is based on a configurable item, so the next step is for me to choose the configuration that I need. In this example, I have selected the standard configuration. If I had selected a different item, perhaps a car, it is likely that I would also have had to select the interior and exterior colors, which are also part of the configuration. In my example, I have selected a piece of construction equipment, which would normally be available in a standard color. You can see that I also check that the warehouse details are correct. I mentioned before that we can create multiple vehicles through a single purchase order, and I do this by entering a quantity in the relevant field. Here, I have entered a quantity of 3. I'm keeping it simple in this example by identifying that I want to create 3 devices based on the same item. It would be possible to build up the complexity of the purchase order and the vehicle or equipment being created through this process by adding multiple lines, each with a specific quantity. On each line, it would be necessary to select the desired configuration and color combinations. By clicking on Functions and then Create Purchase Lines, I start the process of device creation as well as adding the individual lines to the purchase order. Remember that we should see 3 individual devices created in our example. The purchase order now includes the 3 pieces of equipment, and each of these has a status of ordered. This is the starting point of tracking all transactions relating to the lifetime history of the device. This enables me and my colleagues to track all transactions from cradle to the grave. Now we are back to the standard purchase order functionality of Dynamics AX 2012. The first stage in this process is to confirm the purchase order and communicate this to our vendor. Workflow can be introduced to the purchase order process so that my boss can approve the order before it is confirmed. Extra steps, such as these, reflect our internal processes and also show how flexible the system is. Remember that these are additional steps that can be set up in the system and does not involve additional development work. Once the purchase has been confirmed, it is possible for me to track the shipment directly through the system. Here is the list page with all of my shipments that are on order. I have also the option to filter and see only those that are still active. The various stages of the shipment process are normally updated directly from the OEM system or through the shipping company, which means less work for me. I am also able to update the shipment stages manually. The number of devices at each stage of the shipment are displayed on this form. This gives me a snapshot so that I know exactly what is happening in my part of the business. I can double-click on the list page to see the detail view, which displays the individual devices on the shipment. This means that it is possible to work with all devices on the shipment or with groups of devices. One part of the shipment process is to advise my team, who look after pre-delivery inspection, for the devices that are coming in. This makes it easier for them to plan ahead and make sure that resources are available to carry out the PDI work. If any accessories are fitted at the location where the PDI work is carried out, then my team need to make sure that they are physically in stock. The system also enables me to manage any add-on charges for things such as customs to the cost of the device. Back on the purchase order, I am then able to continue with the standard receipting process. From the Receiver tab, I can then bring the pieces of equipment into stock. It is also possible for me to let the person receiving them know that they are expected by printing off a receipts list. Once they have been received into stock, the status changes on each of them to in stock. This is another way of making sure that I know what is happening with the vehicles or equipment at any stage of their lifetime. Against each individual equipment, I can see the details of the purchase order that it was originally purchased on. By clicking on the reference number, I can jump directly to the purchase order in case I need to check the details there. And this is an example of how we use Annata Dynamics IDMS to cover our importer management needs. You can now take a look at how other companies are using IDMS by checking the next videos. Thanks for watching.